Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining in. We have Shaun from the Story Till Now, and we can't wait to hear more about his story. Hey, guys, how are you all?
Hey,
What's up?
How are you doing tonight, Shaun?
I'm doing good. I'm ready to wander, wonder, and repeat.
Yes, all in pink.
Dude, we are
I
so
love
excited.
that I have my guys here with a pink background. I thought I'd change it up.
It looks good.
Kind of match my Jeep now, Shaun. You know that.
Yep.
So where are you at, Shaun? Where are you? Are you in the States or are you in Colombia? Or
I'm in British Columbia, Canada.
Gotcha. Is it cold there?
It is today, actually. It's like -3 or something outside.
Oh, that's a little chilly. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been not too bad lately. It's been low teens, so that's Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So
yeah, I was about to say I would never survive because it's like 30 degrees Celsius here or Fahrenheit here, and I'm like layered in the house in a 75-degree house.
Yeah, she doesn't do cold well at all.
Yeah, neither do I. I hate the cold, but I live where I live, so.
Exactly. Well, we have a lot of people watching. We have Paul Fair from Move Along Adventure says he's ready. He's so ready. He was the first one to comment before the show even went live. So we have a lot of people
Nice.
Super excited that you are here. So Shaun, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you just said you're in British Columbia. How long have you been doing this? Who are you? For those that don't know, I don't know how you don't know, but you know.
I'm Shaun. I make off-road adventure videos in British Columbia, Canada.
Beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Now, have you always?
That's actually on our license plate. Beautiful British Columbia.
Have you always done videos? Is that your background?
I mean, I guess it's always been my hobby. Like I've been doing the first thing I ever saved up money for when I was a teenager was a camcorder, and
like a VHS.
I've been putting videos on the internet for since before YouTube was even a thing. God forbid anyone ever finds them. But yeah, I wanted, when I was in high school, I mean, I wanted to go to film school. I wanted to be a movie director. Like I volunteered at the local TV station where I learned a lot of stuff about doing camera work and directing, lighting, audio, all that kind of stuff. So, I got a lot of my foundation for that from there, as well as just experimenting. And I quit my job and started my own videography business for a while, which I found out very quickly that I don't like making other people's stuff. I just want my own stuff, because I'm
that's a lot more fun.
I'm a creative person. I need some kind of creative outlet. So, and the video really just kind of does it for me.
So you're obviously in a beautiful location. Have you always driven off-road 4x4 vehicles, or is that kind of what you need around that area?
No, actually, I haven't. It's extremely popular around this area. It's a very popular hobby. But for me, I've been doing this since about 2014. I got back from living overseas in Japan for 5 years. And I was kind of just a little bit lost in what I was going to do with my life. And I came back, I got a job, and I bought a car. Like I bought a Mazda Miata. And,
Heck yeah.
And there was a guy who I used to work with before I had gone overseas. And he was like, hey, let's get together and go camping. And then I started taking my Mazda Miata up Forest Service roads, and
oh my gosh.
after a year of doing that like every week, my friend was like, you could probably just go on Craigslist and buy like $1,000 Ford Explorer or something that would be more suitable for this. And I, $3,000 later, I had a XJ Cherokee and lifted on 33s, and then I just started. I was like, well, what else? Now that I've got this thing, like what else can I do? And I started joining like the local off-road clubs and going on trail runs. And then I started reading articles in magazines about, you know, people who've gone on these like expeditions and like, you know, really like adventures, and they're going through like these crazy roads that they barely exist. And I was like, I want to do that. Like that looks like fun. Yeah. So that's kind of how I got.
We have a popular saying. We say, "Will what you got." So you will that Mazda.
Yeah, I just upgraded my my ride over time. But then, you know, my interest in filmmaking and off-roading just kind of collided, and
So what's been your vehicle evolution? You had the Cherokee. I was looking back through some of your old videos on the channel. It looked like you had a 2-door JK at one point, or is that a TJ?
No, it was an LJ, so it was a
okay,
the rare stretched
those
TJs.
Those are nice.
Yeah. So I had 2 XJs, and then I got the LJ. So it's actually a funny story. My second XJ was like a complete piece of junk, and when I met my now wife, one of our first dates, I wanted to take her off-roading, of course, right? So we went out in the snow, like 50K up a Forest Service road, and the engine blew up.
Oh,
oh wow! And you're married today? Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, after the ordeal of getting this thing out of there and getting home and everything, she made it clear that she wasn't going to be going off-roading with me anymore unless I bought a more reliable off-roader. So I sold my Mazda Miata and I bought an LJ.
There you go. That's a little step up. Up.
And then from there, I had that for a couple of years, and then we got the Gladiator when that came out because I thought it was cool. And
yeah, you got that like right when it first came out, didn't you?
Yeah, like I didn't order it or anything. It just we kind of talked about the idea of getting one. Not really for YouTube or anything, just because I thought it was cool. And we went and test drove one on a lot, and we just ended up buying it and bringing it home. Like this was like October of 2019, I guess, because it's 2020. Yeah, around October 20. So it was one of the first ones on the lot. And my phone's ringing. Sorry.
We've always wanted to know what Shaun's music sounded like. So there we go.
Yeah, it's the default ringtone. But yeah, so we got the Gladiator, and then that was just like a few months before the channel started getting big. So
that's awesome. So what all have you done to the Gladiator?
Oh, a lot.
A lot?
That's a long list. I'll give you the basic rundown.
Basic overall.
It's got a 4.5-inch Terraflex lift in it. It's on 37, 12, 5, 17 tires. On Terraflex Nomad wheels. It's got Rhino Rack backbone platform on top. Some Zargus cases mounted on the top. It's got the RIP supercharger that we just put in a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw someone asked how it's holding up or how it's doing. I saw that comment come through just a little while ago. How is that working for you?
Yeah, I guess so far it's one of those things where after you install it, there's a lot of tuning revisions that you have to go through.
Okay.
So you like drive it for a lot of tweaking. Bit. Yeah, and then you do like a data log and you send it back to the guys at RIP, and they update the tune and they send you a software file and you load it in, and it's gradually the experience gets better and better. So we're still like fine tuning it, but it's working good so far.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. What is do you have a cab over the back of the Jeep I saw, I think? And
it's the RSI Smart Cap. Stainless steel cap.
Oh, I know. I wanted that for Matt.
we considered that for ours.
The only thing I don't like is it makes my truck really tall, and I used to have the half rack, and I much prefer that look and feel, lower center of gravity, but it's a trade-off, right? So I'm doing a lot of longer trips now, and having the lockable storage area for security for my gear is nicer than having to take all my, if I want to go spend a night at a hotel, I got to take like my chainsaw on the luggage cart, and that looks weird. I've had questions.
Could be a little security issue.
And we also, we used one of the bins on the side to install a full Red Arc system, and
yeah, that's a sweet setup.
Yeah, it's awesome for charging camera batteries and stuff like that, and running whatever you need to on longer trips. So I need power.
Yeah. I chose to go with a simpler, just their BCDC 1250 instead of the whole Manager 30 thing, because I didn't want to have to deal with where to put it and building out the whole area for it. So I want simpler than that.
Space consuming.
They're so fabulous. Yeah,
it just works so well. It's one of those things where I wasn't sure if I really needed it, and then I started looking into it, and I was like, this could be what I need. And once I had it, we did it on a 200 amp hour lithium battery, and then with a 2000 watt inverter. I mean, I basically got electricity, for anything.
Yeah.
That's I've got 200 amp hours of mine too, and so far the main thing I'm running off it is my fridge, so I can just leave my fridge running for weeks.
Yeah, well, I like to run, because we're in a cold environment, I like to run a heated blanket when I sleep. I find that's the best way. There's a lot of different things people do for heating rooftop tents, but for me, a warm sleeping bag with a heated blanket seems to do the trick, no matter how cold it is.
So you haven't got on the diesel heater bandwagon yet?
Nah, I'm not. I don't think that's the thing.
It's really great.
I don't know.
They really are fantastic.
I haven't tried one, so maybe if I tried one, I probably.
It really is life changing.
Once you go diesel heater, you never go back electric blanket.
Does it not get too hot?
Well, depends on who you ask. Not to me. I'm always cold.
I used it on a recent trip to the Ozarks, on a trip that we call our cold water run, because we do it in January when it's usually at its coldest. And so I was using it on that trip. And the first night it was perfect. I had the temperature on it turned down a little bit, but the second night, for whatever reason, I turned it up, and I got hot that night. I was venting the tent. I was opening up all the windows, and it was great. I mean, it's lows I think the low was like 20 degrees Fahrenheit that night, which is really cold for us.
I feel like on a freezing cold night, that would be awesome. Because there's some nights when, you open up the tent and there's like everything's icy already, and you just don't even want to deal with it. Like those kind of nights, I feel like a diesel heater would be perfect.
It really does make a difference.
Nights.
We for sure love it.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, most people, they don't camp in the wintertime, and because of that, but this has totally changed it. Like, I have no problems going and camping year round now with that thing.
Oh yeah, I do too.
It just really makes it that warm. Yeah. I mean, it's the job now. So
I've done, it's been 2 years and 2 months. I've put out a video, at least one video every single week. And they're not, there's not like, it's not like some of them are just filler videos. They're almost all of them are full on adventures. So, So I'm living out of my rooftop tent like 25% of my life here, pretty much.
Well, we have some questions. Jeeps Before Time wants to know, what's your gas mileage
on this after the supercharger?
Yeah, after the supercharger.
So on highway, I've actually seen about an increase of about 50 kilometers per tank. So, and that is something that they told me would likely happen. Would see improved mileage just because something to do with the airflow and. Yeah, but I mean that's offset by the fact that you're running premium fuel now. So
it costs more to fuel it.
Yeah, substantially.
How much is gas there?
Here, well, it probably won't make sense to you because it's by the liter, not by the gallon. But it's actually really expensive right now. It's about $1.80 per liter for regular. Which is quite high.
Like, what is that conversion?
But you have to run premium, don't you now?
I have to run premium, yes.
Yeah.
So
have you had it long enough and gone on a trip and found that finding premium is sometimes a challenge?
I've not had that issue at all. No,
I've got a friend of mine who runs a supercharger on his 4Runner, and on some of our trips, he's had a hard time finding premium in the more rural areas.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I haven't really been in any rural areas. On this trip, we pretty much did the I-5 straight down to San Diego. So we went through, Seattle, Oregon, and yeah, I don't know, everywhere. Anyway, there was no problem getting premium fuel anywhere we went on this trip.
It's pretty much real traveled roads, so you're gonna have that on there. What's your favorite mod on the Gladi?
Ooh, I don't know. Does the rooftop tent count as a mod? Because
it does.
It does.
To say that?
Yeah.
No, that counts.
Do you
That's
like
your house, right? So
which rooftop tent do you have?
I've got the iCamper SkyCamp Mini.
That's what I'm getting.
The one that you have sitting in a box in the garage right now.
It's in a box. I'm waiting on my backbone system.
Ah, yes. You know the new version's coming out like a month, eh?
Yeah, I think the pre-orders start in March, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, super pumped about that. Someone asked if you got the pin that broke. Did you replace it on the last trail video?
Yeah. I just got a new bolt and put it in there as soon as I got back. So I just went over to Epic and they've got 100 of those kits laying around. So
yeah, you have some great guys over there at Epic. I love watching y'all.
Yeah, those guys are awesome.
Especially whenever you got the new Bronco. Can we go there?
Yeah, sure.
I want to go to the new Bronco. So, okay, you've had. I know.
That's really why you're here, Shaun. She just wants to talk about Bronco.
Let's do it.
So, what made you purchase the Bronco? Whenever you've had the Jeep Gladiator and you've been mostly Jeeps, I didn't hear a Ford in that mix. So tell me.
The Mazda Miata was.
The Mazda.
Well, I'd be lying if I didn't say I was motivated by it being something that would be popular on the channel for YouTube, right? But
that's hence Matt with a Gladiator, so we get it.
The reason we decided to do it is because my wife had a BMW X5 that the lease was up on, and the payments basically were the same. So we just figured there's no point in having, like, it makes more sense to get a vehicle that's gonna help the channel than to one that's not, right. And the Bronco is popular. Like every video I've posted with the Bronco has done basically double views than usual.
You think it's because it's new and it's that niche where people are wanting to see what it does?
People want to see people out doing stuff with it, and they know I'll do stuff with it. So I haven't done a lot with it yet because we're waiting for parts to come in, but the parts are starting to roll in, and by April, I'm hoping it should be more capable.
Were you one of the first ones that ordered it and had it on?
No.
Okay.
It was actually very last minute.
Really?
By the time we'd made the decision to get one, you couldn't pre-order them anymore. They were all like sold out, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of hummed and hawed over it for a long time, and then it was, I want to say like October or something like that. We started going around to dealerships because they just started to show up, like a few here and there. And we just went around to dealerships looking to see if they had any available, and we drove all over our area to like 5 different dealerships, and no one had anything. And then the last one we went to was actually the one that's just down the street from my house. And so the person who had ordered the very first one from their dealership, it was a Badlands, Sasquatch, 4-door, hardtop, like everything that we wanted. It was order number 001 at their dealership, and the guy backed out. So they're like, well, we have this one that's coming in that you can just take it if you want it. We're like, okay. And they gave it to us at MSRP. No
crazy markup or anything.
It was easy. They're like, do you want it? I'm like, yeah, I'll take it.
I guarantee if you turn around and if you flip it,
you kind of found one on the lot, and that's crazy.
We just kind of lucked out and got exactly what we were looking for. And then, but we just got it, in January, like January 6th, I think we got it, because they had that hardtop recall. And so it was built and it was just sitting in Michigan at the assembly plant waiting for a replacement hardtop for like 3 or 4 months.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a Badlands. Is yours a Badlands Sasquatch?
Yeah, it is.
Cool. What mods and accessories do you have planned for it, or have you done anything? I know you said they're kind of rolling in, so.
Yeah, just Kyle has a Bronco, so he has a Badlands Sasquatch. I think it's the same color as yours, actually.
I got to drive his. No, his is not the same. Yours is.
I think it's the best color, the carbonized gray, just because the hard top is gray, so it kind of matches.
His is the Area 51, the bluish.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the cactus gray, and then my wife said it looked like bird crap color. So we decided not to go with that one after that.
I think that is a great description of that one.
It is a great description of that color. Sorry, anyone who has the bird crap Bronco.
The bird crap Badlands. That's what we'll just call it. So what mods did you say you plan on doing?
I didn't. We have what do we got going on? I don't know. What can I say? I mean, we're doing some really basic things. First of all, this week, just quality of life stuff. Okay. Installing a 67 Designs rail for mounting GoPros and whatnot. My Kenwood radio is going to get installed this week, and then I've got a rack coming because we didn't get if you get the Sasquatch package, you couldn't get a rack from the factory. So it's nearly impossible to get a rack for these things. But I found one from a company called Z-Roads. We ordered that. That's coming this week. And then we're going to put the larger iCamper, the full-size one on it. So the new SkyCamp 3 that's coming out.
That's exciting.
Probably the first one in Canada. That's coming soon. And then and then we're gonna lift it and put 37s on it. The tires are here. We paid a visit to Icon Vehicle Dynamics while we were down in California and test drove their Bronco with their new coilover suspension system, and we're gonna do all that stuff in the Bronco. So that's kind of the game plan.
That sounds sweet.
I'm looking for bumpers right now, trying to figure out for winch mounting solution,
protection and all that.
What they've done with the official accessories is kind of dumb because you can't get they have a winch mount accessory for the modular bumper that you can get with it, which I have, but you can't buy it without buying a winch together for like $3,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's kind of stupid. So I've already got a winch for it. So I just want the winch mount. So I got to find a whole bumper.
Now, did I hear you correctly in that technically the Bronco is your wife's vehicle?
Yeah. I mean, that's what she's going to daily drive because we got rid of her other vehicle. I mean, I own it. But.
And she's cool because I saw your first video with the Bronco and you wasted no time taking that out and beating the crap out of it.
She knows this is what I do, and she knows that if I break it, I buy it, right? So
Does your wife go with you on the trips now that you have her locked into the marriage?
Not really right now, but now that we've got the Bronco, the plan is kind of to try and get her out more and do some trips where we've got both vehicles. So we're gonna head out in April on a road trip together and see how it goes. I mean, I don't know what to expect. We're going to take our 2.5-year-old with us. So
that'll be awesome.
It'll either be great or it'll be a disaster and we'll be home in a week.
At least you're open there,
Yeah. Whatever happens, be sure it shows up on the film. So. I did notice you took that you brought the Gladiator on your recent trips down to the States and left the Bronco at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, the Bronco's not really ready for those trips yet. Mainly because I don't have a rack yet to put a tent on. So it would have been ground tenting it, and I've got the whole power setup in the Gladiator. It's all set up for filming, so it's kind of and especially on those longer trips where I need to be running a laptop and doing some editing on the go and stuff like that. Having the Red Arc system is kind of a necessity.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've done that with the Gladiator, and Matt's, his is pretty much fully loaded, and like we could leave in it now, and it's pretty much set to go. But mine's never been my issue. I had a Grand Cherokee before I have my Wrangler now, and we got it right as COVID kind of started. And so that just shut everything down because most of their productions are out of Australia. And so we were able to get the rack, but then we couldn't get anything. We couldn't get any type of protection under body. And with that
we
type
couldn't
of
get bumpers for it or anything.
We really need to have protection if we were wanting to wheel it, you know, like I've done Hell's Gate in it and stuff like that. But I mean, I didn't want to do anything a little bit more technical. But what would you say one of the trails that you've ran is your favorite? Would you say one in the States or one in Canada?
Probably the Alexander Mackenzie Trail.
Okay.
That was pretty awesome. It's not very technical per se. It's more of an experience.
Okay.
So I don't know
we've had those. I'm not familiar with that one, so if you want to tell us a little bit about it, please feel free to do so.
Yeah, it's an old trading route from the 1800s. So there's a whole history behind it that is slipping my mind at the moment. But anyway, it's a famous trail, and it's kind of known for every year there's a lot of deadfall, and so there's a lot of chainsawing. We spent a good couple of days, solid days, just chainsawing and moving very slowly. And but I mean, you go out there with a crew, like 6 guys, and it's a week-long trip to get through this trail. And there's deep river crossings, and there's the scenery through there is just incredible. It's definitely I've only done half of it actually, so I want to go back this year hopefully and do the whole thing.
Yeah, I can't imagine. We definitely have those trails. I think as long as there's places we constantly want to explore, we've had an experience trail like that. We went and did Pritchett Canyon in the Gladiator, shortly after Matt got it. And that's a very, very technical trail there in Moab. And it's 4 miles and it took us 12 hours. And yeah,
that's not moving very fast.
No,
it's the hardest trail in Moab. And
okay. I should go do it.
You should.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
actually
not exactly Gladiator friendly.
I would like to invite you, and I'm gonna talk over you for a second, or if I may mute you. In 2023, I am taking my pink Jeep, and I'm going to Moab, and I'm going to do Pritchett. You should come.
Okay.
And
I think that would be a blast.
Am I driving? Am I taking Sully too?
I don't think so. I think this should just be about me.
I'm not taking Sully on this trip. I guess I'm riding shotgun and filming the whole thing and spotting. I'm going to be hiking in all of Pritchett Canyon.
Well, remind me in a year, and we'll see what's going on.
Yeah, I will hold you to it. Don't you worry. Sure. I am a woman, and I have an amazing memory.
Okay, I have a terrible memory, and I know.
I'm super bummed.
Yeah, you haven't been to Moab, have you?
I have, yeah. We just
you have? Okay.
We went in November. It was my first time, but we didn't really.
I have a picture.
Yeah, that was.
That's right. Yeah,
the baby lions back. Yeah, in Moab there. So yeah, I went with Epic Family Road Trip, and we did. We only did like 2 trails. We did. What was it called? Fins and Things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I did Top of the World just by myself.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember seeing that. That was
a cool experience. It was a little bit more technical than I expected for a light afternoon solo run, but it was beautiful at the top. I've always wanted to go there.
I think it's it's beautiful in the backgrounds, but that trail, I do not like that trail at all. It is the most
It's actually Kara's least favorite trail in Moab.
You did this the whole time.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and
by the time I was done, my back was so sore because it's just relentless with the bouncing.
And I went out there with a bruised tailbone, and so it was just.
I left there with a bruised tailbone.
Exactly. Totally get that.
Yeah, it doesn't get fun until the last third, and then it starts getting interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like it though. I definitely.
Yeah, it's worth it at the end.
We're gonna go back to Moab. Well, I'm gonna be there for Easter Jeep Safari with KC250, and then
okay.
For part, well, not really there for much of the trail runs or anything, so I'm not really into big group trail runs. It's not really my thing. But we're going to be in the area and go to the vendor days and stuff, and then I'm going to go do some exploring after that. I think the guys from Epic are probably coming down too, and we're going to go do some, not like the famous trails, but go go exploring, do some more of our kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'll tell Cara. Go ahead.
They're planning in Moab in 2023, so let us know.
Yeah, that's after I built the Gladiator and immediately wanted to take it to Moab to run the hardest trails. So we ran Pritchett Canyon, we ran Cliffhanger, we ran Stillbender, and after Pritchett, we were driving out, and I told Cara, I don't care if I run another named trail out here. I run them; they're great, but I want to go. I want to go back to Moab, and I just want to explore all the non-name trails.
Yeah,
and see all the little,
such a scenic
all
area.
The amazing little places.
We did a trail called Onion Creek that was
yes.
Oh yeah.
That one's a bit more like that. It's not really like a busy technical trail. It's more of like an overland type trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's beautiful down in that little wash.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen that with Brad from Trail Recon. He did Onion Creek, and that was one of the ones that we had wanted to go to, but we never did. There's just so many different places that you try to get to and you can't make it. So you just recently had a trip out with Brad and Marco. What did Marco cook for y'all?
Oh man, he made so he had like some steaks and his famous chimichurri sauce.
Yeah,
which that stuff is like some kind of wizardry. I don't know, but it tastes so good. And he gave me his cookbook. I was so excited.
I got Cara the cookbook for Valentine's Day. Yeah,
nice.
That was awesome. One of her Valentine's presents.
That's what we
along
do
with
here.
the Jeep. Along with the Jeep.
Yeah, I'm a terrible cook. I love when other people cook for me because I'm awful at cooking. I can barbecue. That's my cooking skill. I can make. I actually you're gonna think it's kind of stupid, but I bring a toaster with me and make Pop-Tarts for breakfast sometimes. I mean, I've got the electrical system. Why not, right?
Yeah, I have cooked. I have taken Pop-Tarts, and I've got one of those grill grates that you set over the campfire, and I have just set my Pop-Tarts on the edge of the grill grate to warm them up and toast them that way, and it works.
And half the time, he just brings raw cinnamon roll dough and just will eat the dough.
And that works too.
That sounds pretty good.
It's actually very good.
Yeah.
We're actually super fortunate, though. We have a friend by the name of Nathan Anderson. He actually does a lot of our photography on our trails and stuff, but he's an amazing cook.
He's our version of Marco. He's always he's always planning all the meals for us. So
yeah, our friend John, we call him Chef John. He's we always say the same thing. We're like, you're our Marco.
Yeah. Yeah. John Brodowski just wanted to ask if I cooked. Yes, I do.
She can.
Yeah, right. I can. That's the whole option right there.
I'm gonna remember that.
I don't think you've ever cooked at camp, have you?
I made lasagna for Robert. And why are you looking at me like that? You don't remember the lasagna?
I don't remember you cooking the lasagna.
We cooked the lasagna.
Okay, well, it was a week. Yeah, okay.
Let's not argue in front of guests.
I can make some mean bacon. If you want bacon, that's I'm your guy.
Do you like bacon crispy or do you like it like chewy?
I think chewy.
Chewy?
Yeah.
Oh, you lost me.
Sorry.
I like it a little crispy.
I like bacon no matter how you cook it.
It can be crispy, but not like crispy.
No.
I don't want it to like crumble. It's gotta. I want to.
I don't want to be sitting there chewing on it
a little bit.
It's
got to be just right.
Yeah, exactly.
You can make it almost raw. You can make it burnt. I don't care. I'm eating the bacon. It's my favorite.
I like your style.
Yeah, Robert
now, do you have?
I made him do the dishes.
Do you get our kind of bacon up there?
Yes.
The cured
100%.
bacon.
I don't know what this
or is it all Canadian
bacon nonsense is. Bacon is bacon.
I didn't know.
Guys.
Okay. So Canadian bacon's not really a thing. That's just another word for ham.
That's just ham, right?
That's what I thought.
You've heard it here.
I don't know is this an East Coast thing, this Canadian bacon crap? Because bacon is bacon, okay?
Yeah, I know it from pizza. Canadian bacon and pineapple. That's the thing.
That's disgusting. No pineapple.
But it always seemed like ham to me. So I'm glad to know that a Canadian has now told me that
ham and pineapple pizza, right?
Okay. I'm glad to know that a Canadian has now told me.
Do they call ham
Canadian
and pineapple pizza
ham.
Canadian bacon and ham and pineapple pizza?
It's Canadian bacon and pineapple. That's what it's called here.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, this show has taken a turn. Let's just talk.
Hey, I can talk about bacon all night if you guys.
We're talking about the most important thing now.
Now I'm excited. Got me amped up.
Jeep X Off Road said Canadian bacon is blasphemy. That's Nick. All right, so Shaun, let's talk a little bit about your YouTube channel. So you said that you had not started doing much of the videography as far as overlanding back in 2020, right? And you had told me a little bit before the show because COVID had shut down the border for like 2 years. And you pretty much hit it pretty hard and heavy. Like you went from 0 to 100,000 super fast. I think Matt has told me before.
1 year. Well, it went from 10,000 to 100,000 in 2020.
That's crazy.
But it took like 3 years to get to 10,000. So
yeah.
But gotcha. I wasn't doing a video every week back then.
I thought we were doing good. We went from 5,000 to 35,000 in a year. So I thought we were doing good.
You know, it's different for everybody, and subscriber count isn't really important anymore because of the way that YouTube's made changes.
Yeah.
So now a lot of people find videos through their home screen, right? And and YouTube will recommend videos that they think you're going to like based on what other stuff that you watch. So even people who watch your videos, if they watch one of your videos, YouTube will keep suggesting your videos to them. And so they'll keep getting suggested your videos even though they're not subscribed. Like a lot of people don't even realize they're not subscribed because they're just watching the videos all the time that YouTube's recommending. So it's not as important as it once was if view count is all that really matters.
Yeah. I know you weren't able to explore a lot in the States because you had plans for 2020 when you decided to go full time to explore all these areas, and the whole shut off kind of put you at a standstill. So how did you switch your ideas there?
Yeah. So, I mean, we obviously wanted to go down to all the events in the US and go to Moab and go to California and go to all these places. Once I started doing the channel full time, and I had the freedom and the funding to do that, and had all these plans in the works, and then border closed down, and that was that. So then we pivoted, just started exploring BC, and it was great because we found all these places that probably nobody's ever filmed before.
Okay.
Just really remote, old. Logging and mining roads, and so those are some of the biggest videos on my channel now, and that's kind of I credit a lot of that really fast growth to just going places and showing things that people hadn't done before.
So whenever you had those trips in mind, did you pre-plan them, or did you just literally go out and explore and film what you found and then created a story from that?
Yeah, well, I mean, the story is basically just what happens, right? So I mean, my process for a lot of people will like accuse me of like over dramatizing things or something, but all I do is I film what happens, and then I narrate it and add cool music. So that's the secret. But it's all like everything actually happens. Like we're not like faking anything.
That's one thing Matt gets asked a lot of is he'll ask if he's making the story or if he has one in mind, and he goes out and like edits it that way, and we're like, no, that's not authentic.
Well, I mean, there are things like, I'll give you an example. Like I'll say, okay, I'm gonna go out on a solo trip this time, and there's not gonna be any talking, and I'm just gonna film everything I do and do like a silent video. That's like
I love those.
Planning out what the video is gonna be, for example, right? But so sometimes I'll do stuff like that. I'll have like a concept in mind, but usually it's we pick a trail, not knowing what's up the trail. We film what happens, and usually cool stuff happens if you're with cool people. So
right. Yeah.
And that's it.
Now I know you mentioned earlier that you don't necessarily like going out in large groups.
Yeah.
Is that because of the filming aspect of it, or is that just, I mean, because that's the thing with me. I get asked all the time, does does filming take away from the experience for me, from experiencing the location? I say no. Filming actually, to me, enhances the experience.
Part of the experience.
Because to me, it's a big part of the experience, because I love telling the story and I love capturing it on camera. And to me, I think it makes me examine what we're doing even closer, because I'm constantly looking around for a possible unique camera angle and really checking out the environment that we're in that way. But
and I enjoy so much, like when you get home and you see the footage of what you shot, and it's almost like you're looking at it from a different perspective than you saw it in first person.
Yeah, exactly. For me, do you find it more challenging filming when you're in larger groups?
Definitely. Yeah. That's 100%. That's definitely part of the reason I don't like going out in big groups, is because you kind of feel like you're just holding everybody up. And I prefer to go out with people who understand my process and know, what, know what we're doing. I like going out with other YouTubers the most, to be honest, because we're all out there doing the same thing, and nobody feels like we're slowing them down or anything. But also, I just find, large groups, everything takes longer. It's just difficult to manage those. It's
kind of cumbersome.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer, like 3 to 4 vehicles max is
I think that's
kind of my comfort level, and then everything is a well-oiled machine, and you're out there doing your thing, and you can bond with the people you're with, and it's not like you're not just like running around
production
with everybody. And I don't know, that's just what I like. I mean,
we definitely love the 3 to 4 as well. And plus, you have to worry about logistics. If you're camping somewhere, is the location that you're going to be camping at going to be enough for a room?
For sure. Yeah, and then you got potential vehicle breakages and recoveries, and getting people through obstacles, and there's all sorts of things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we are very lucky. Robert is one of them. We've got a very good group of friends that, I'm always self-conscious when I'm in a group, that yes, me setting up the camera is holding us back. It is, stopping to launch the drone, stopping to, to bring down the drone, stopping to set up this camera, or whatever. So I'm always conscious that I am holding everybody up in that process. But I mean, we've got such a great group of friends that when we're out, I mean, we've had as many as 8 or we've had as many as 8 or more. And then, they don't care. The hard part for me is I have to run a lot farther back to the camera if there's 8 rigs than if there's just 4.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, same for me. Like my friends all understand at this point that, this is what I do, and they know if they're coming out with me what to expect. So I kind of try to stick to my group.
I mean, are everybody in your videos also YouTubers? Because most of the just about everybody in your videos, when you're talking to them, you put their names and stuff on the screen. They all have their own YouTube channel.
Yeah, a lot of the times now that is the case, because those are the people that I'm friends with and I relate to, right? So I mean, but there's a couple of guys who don't, but most of the guys that I go out with on a regular basis now are YouTubers.
Yeah.
Do you share awesome. Do you share the content, or how does that work? Do you hand someone a GoPro and be like, "Here, film this for me"?
Not really. Like, we all have our own gear and film our own stuff.
Okay.
Occasionally, like, one of us will stick a GoPro on someone else's vehicle, or like I'll throw a GoPro in someone's vehicle if I want to, film them, or But most of the time, no. Usually we're just doing our own thing, and then if some kind of like big event happens, sometimes we'll like exchange some footage just so we all have different angles and stuff, and because we're all gonna have a different take on it anyway. So
yeah, I have enjoyed watching when you and KC250 are on trips together, because the story you tell, it's different than the story that Casey's telling, but it's the exact same trip. Yeah, and I think that's great. I love the different takes on it.
Yeah, it's something we talk about a lot because Casey and I just talk about YouTube like 24/7. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends. We're just both so passionate about making videos, and so it's yeah, we always talk about a few things like different telling stories in different ways. His way is much more like vlog style, and just this is what's happening, and more like kind of behind the scenes stuff, and mine's more like the cinematic, like trying to make it into a movie kind of thing. So we try to do things a little bit differently, but we have so much fun out there together, and also just being characters, like just having some laughs,
and just being able to have that time with the guys. I think that's important for not only creating the story. Do you ever take the trips out there that you don't film, or are you constantly feeling like I've got to film if I'm going to go out on a trip?
It's extremely rare that I'm not filming.
Okay.
There's I just don't have the time. I wish.
Okay.
Not that filming is like a problem or anything.
Right.
I love it, but I wish I had time to take a trip just for myself as well.
Yeah. Do you ever plan on making those times? Because I know you don't also want to lose the heart of it. You want to be able to have that time for yourself.
I'm not worried about that really, like, because I love the filming part of it as well, and I've been doing it every week for over 2 years, and I'm not even close to being tired of what I do. Right?
Yeah.
I just keep finding new ways to make
content.
things interesting, or to have more fun with it, or be more creative with it, add more layers, and just constantly honing my craft. Right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I did a couple of trips with my wife and daughter last year that I didn't film, just for like family time.
That's good. I think that's important too, just to find a balance. I know from the wife's perspective, it's really hard. Like, because you see my husband in there on YouTube all the time. And I'm like, he says that's his job, but he's researching on YouTube. I'm like, I don't understand. That's our struggle around the house. Yeah. I'm like, but you don't really do anything, babe.
Some people don't understand that YouTube's it's more than a full-time job. Like, it's like, at least for me, I'm out 2 to 3 days a week filming, and those are you don't have a whole lot of downtime on trips. You're running around with this camera from morning until night. And even when you're trying to relax around the fire, you're like, okay, I better, I got to get like the campfire shot or the cooking shot or whatever, right? Like, there's always something. And then, after 2 or 3 days of that, you're exhausted, and you go home, and this is combined with like the trail driving. And you guys know from driving on trails, like, the concentration is exhausting. Like, by the end of the day, you're just so tired. So after 2 or 3 days of that, then I go home, and it's a solid like 2 to 4 days of editing, so I'm putting in like 100+ hour weeks here.
Yeah.
So it's
not to mention whenever you're installing things on your vehicles or doing maintenance on your vehicles. Like, I do agree with you 100%. A lot of people don't realize, they think that YouTube is just like a hobby that you can just go film and it just magically creates itself, and you also get things sent to you to show things for free. I think that's what a lot of people think, and it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. So, I mean, it's definitely a job. You have to love it. And if you love it, then, the people who love it and are passionate about it, it'll come through in the content they put out, and they'll be successful.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Destination
Adventure Overland asks, what are some of your favorite channels to watch?
Ooh, some of my favorite channels to watch. Let me think for a sec. I really like.
This is a shout out to all the people that are watching now.
You put me in a spot here. Let me think. There's a channel I've been watching for a really long time. Like, I won't go into like overland channels. Let's just talk other channels.
Okay.
I like Adrenaline Addiction. He does like cliff jumping and base jumping and stuff like that. That's a really
not
cool
heard
channel.
of that.
I like my absolute favorite channel is Vlog Creations.
Okay.
He's a comedian, So he does like improv and skits and stuff. Just really funny stuff. Like his videos just make me laugh every single time. If you haven't watched that guy, you want to get a laugh, go check it out.
Our favorite every night is TikTok. We'll pull up TikTok. Like we'll send each other TikToks throughout the day, and an hour before, this is a little inside to like our home personal life, but an hour before we go to bed early, and we will lay in bed over an hour and we'll just watch what we've sent each other again, and we will just laugh. It's just hysterical. It's the greatest part of my day.
Yeah, you need something to unwind, right? So I try to watch like content that's light and funny, and then I watch pretty much every off-road channel too, all the main ones.
Yeah, I think that we all have our favorites. Bats Off-Road says they love the installs with the ginger.
Oh, fun! Yeah, the ginger's a character. We just got back from a week and a half long trip together, so we had a good time. The video that I have coming out on Monday is going to be unlike anything that I've ever done before from that trip. So I don't know. Yeah,
what
check
makes
it out
it unique?
on Monday.
What makes it unique?
Well, I don't want to spoil it too much, but
feel free to use my
is
channel
this
as
one,
a spoiler. Is that this
one just you and Ginger? No, that came out yesterday.
That's
okay.
This week's it already came out. That's the
okay.
one with Brad and Marco and
Gotcha.
And Ginger is in there too. Next week's is it's just like the continuation of that trip, but we're doing some racing with the two supercharged Gladiators on a dry lake bed, and yes, episode 150, and then things take a really interesting sci-fi turn from there. So
I'm super pumped.
Yeah, check it out on Monday. We'll see. If I
don't see lightsabers, I'm going to be disappointed.
It'll either be the greatest thing I've ever done or a massive flop.
So what places do you have planned coming up? I know that the borders are open now. Knock on wood, they stay that way.
Apparently Moab in 2023.
Yeah, well, we know 2023 is a busy year for you.
I think we're going. I think we're going to Nevada in late March, or maybe Utah. I don't think it's decided yet.
Okay.
We're going somewhere for a week to do some exploring, and then I'm back down in Moab in April, and then from there I think I'm going to go explore Arizona for a good few weeks. So
Arizona is high on my list to get to. I have not been there yet, and I'm actually was invited. Revere Overland.
Yes,
that channel. Yeah, he invited me to come down there for a trip, and I just couldn't get away. I wanted to go down there so bad, but it was the timing just didn't work out. Some of the pictures I've seen
from there, it's my kind of place to go explore, and it looks like a lot of the trails and stuff are quite remote and not so not like popular
people-y.
kind of trails.
Not so people-y.
Yeah, it's more my kind of thing. So
how far of a drive would that be for you to get down to Arizona?
Probably if I drove like 3 straight days, probably to get to Arizona.
Really? That long?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, probably like 10-hour days. Probably.
Yeah,
probably like
it's
30 to 35 hours, something like that.
It's about 20 plus hours for me to get to Arizona. So
I'm probably going to do like 2 days or 3 days to drive down to Moab, because I'm going to have my kid with me. So we'll do shorter days, and then we'll spend a week in Moab, and then start making our way down to Arizona. That's kind of my rough plan. And then we'll see how that goes and what happens from there, and head home whenever we're done.
I've always wanted to go and do the lottery for the wave there in Arizona, just to be able to go hike it. Have you heard of the wave?
No.
Okay. So it's a beautiful rock formation. It's like it's a photographic place. So you can I'll let you Google it later, but you have to do a lottery. They do in-person lotteries, or you have to do it like 4 months in advance.
They only go there?
Yeah, just to get in, because it's a very unique rock formation. The way,
they only allow so many
very
people
curved rocks and stuff, and it looks like a wave in the rocks. It's crazy cool.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, but it's not. You have to. You take a chance to get in.
Huh. Yeah. Well, you should do it.
That's what I want to do. I want to do that in Antelope Canyon. I've not done either one of those, but
those both like hiking places.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both of them are hikes.
Yeah.
So I have kind of a rule. I don't go anywhere unless wheels are under me.
So you're not a hiker, Shaun?
No, I'm not a hiker.
Okay, so here I found this real quick. Now, this is the wave.
There you go.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Probably looks just like the picture.
Yes.
I've been there now.
There you go. You won the lottery right here.
There you go. Now, how far did they make you hike when you were doing the mud caves with Marco and Brad?
Not very far. That was like a 5-minute walk.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently it goes for like a mile, but I was like, that sounds like hiking.
You're my kind of guy, Shaun. I used to be a runner and then I stopped.
Yeah, I've never been a runner and I stopped.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Matt used to have a sticker on the back of his Jeep that said 0.0.
I actually tried to get into hiking a little bit just for exercise. And I live kind of like right next to a big forest. So there's lots of hiking trails. But I did it twice and then I stopped.
Do you have a lot of bears there that you have to?
Yeah. Not this time of year because they're mostly sleeping, but from about March until October, we'll see like 2 or 3 bears a day in our yard. Like,
oh wow.
Yeah, we're just kind of coexist with them.
That would make my day. Like I was so pumped. I saw my first bear in Colorado this past summer, and I was so excited that I took a picture of it, and I didn't take my cap off, my lens.
Oh.
And so it's a big black picture, and I still have that picture saved and I put it as my background. And everybody's like, what is that? And I'm like, that's a bear. You don't know it, but it's there.
Well, the ones around here are kind of menaces, so they're like I hate them. One ripped a hole in my garage wall trying to get in, and one tried to break into my smart cap on my Jeep. I got it on my security camera. I sent it to RSI, and they used it for marketing.
Oh my!
So,
wow, that's awesome.
That's crazy.
It didn't get in, so.
So not hiking. That explains
why I'm overweight.
Drone footage. No, all the drone footage.
What are you saying?
If Matt stood up, he huffs and puffs nowadays too.
Yeah, I got the dad bod. But I mean, because for me, a lot of setting up the cameras and stuff, that's major hiking, especially in hilly terrain. I tell my friends that's how I get my exercise, is setting up the cameras.
Yeah, it's funny. When we went to Death Valley, you're not allowed to fly drones there, so I was running around like a madman up and down these hills with my camera on a tripod, and I've never been in more pain at the end of the day. It was awful. Drones are so much easier.
Okay, I get asked this question a lot. How do you fly the drone and drive the Jeep at the same time?
Yeah, I've actually got 3 arms.
It's on your back. We just can't see it.
Because I think that's an acquired skill that we learn.
I don't know.
And fly. Or I drive with my knee a lot
apparently
of times. Apparently
it's a difficult thing, but I've just kind of perfected it somehow. I don't know. I'll do you're driving slow most of the time, right? So
a
lot of the times it's literally like pick a direction and then one hand on the wheel and like one hand kind of grip the controller and the thumb just kind of like trying to hold the stick forward at the right speed. And then your hand cramps up and then you take your hands off the wheel and almost drive off the road while you relax your thumb, and then you reposition and then you do it again. And that's kind of the process.
Yeah. I love
a lot of thumb cramping.
I've learned to drive with my knee a lot.
Yeah.
For a lot of stuff. But I love going back and looking at the drone shots, and before you kind of get settled in, you get those early shots where you see the Jeep swerving in the on the road, crossing, going back and forth on the trail for a minute.
It's a miracle that I haven't died, to be honest. I literally have driven off the road 2 times. It was just lucky that it was in places that, there was just like a grassy field or something, and not a drop off. Because I mean, sometimes I'm driving on shelf roads and stuff. And
you have a lot of that.
Yeah, and those are sketchy, but I find it's calming looking at the screen for the drone shot, because you're focused on the shot more than you are on driving. But that's also really dangerous.
Yeah, it is. Hey, real quick, do you have any plans to go to Alaska or the Yukon?
Yeah. I'm trying to get some people to go with me this summer, but I mean, I'm trying to do a lot of things this summer, so who knows which ones will actually happen.
I would love to go. Do you find yourself overbooking yourself? Like you want to do all these things?
In the summer, yes, because we have such a short summer here. It's basically just, July and August, and we still get a lot of rain during those times too.
Yeah.
So just trying to get in, because a lot of the stuff I want to do here in BC, you can only do in those 2 months. And most of the time you can only go do those things on weekends, because not everybody is a full-time YouTuber and can just go whenever they want.
Right.
And you don't want to go by yourself, because it's, it's less interesting and it's not as safe.
But safety second, Shaun.
Yeah, safety second. Stick with dirtydangerous.com. Yeah, I mean, it's just, to me, it's not as interesting shooting videos if you don't have other people, because it's like characters in a show, right? Like it's more interesting when you've got people to banter with and tell your story with. So, and it's more fun. Like, it's pretty lonely going out overlanding by yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I know Matt, me and him, it's the greatest whenever me and him can get to go out together, for sure. What kind of drone do you use? Yeah,
the Mavic 3 here.
Rocking the 3.
This thing, I'm telling you.
Is it the Senna or is it the standard?
No, it's not the stupid Senna. This thing's so expensive, man. This is like
it is
5,000 or 6,000 Canadian dollars. It was retarded. I didn't get the Senna.
We don't have this either.
Honestly, at the same time the Mavic 3 came out, I got the Air 2S. Because it's a little bit smaller package, but because I wanted to use the smart controller with it. I got so tired of pulling my phone out, putting it in the remote, and having to go through that process. I wanted to use the smart controller, and I didn't have one, so I was buying the Air 2S with the smart controller. And the only way to get the smart controller with the Mavic 3 was the freaking Senna, and I wasn't paying $5,000 for a drone.
Oh, really?
So
I bought it separately with mine. They had it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they had it listed as separate.
Don't tell him that, Shaun. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
Tell you what made me mad. Mavic 2, Mavic 3. You got to buy a separate smart controller.
Right, yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
$1,000
and that was the other thing.
Sorry?
So, yeah, that was the thing, the change in the smart controller and just the exorbitant cost of it. I stuck with the Air 2S and have been happy.
Well, the Mavic 3 is kind of a game changer, though, for a few reasons. The 40-minute flight time is crazy, because you can just leave it up there. Even if I want to go get another shot or set up a different camera, I can just leave it up there and forget about it, and it's fine, because it's up there for so long. And then the image quality is so good that I find I use it more for close-up shots as like just a stationary camera, where you can do like little pans, or you can do like these crane cam like shots, and you can't tell the difference. You can't tell that it's a drone when you're that low to the ground. It looks like you've got an actual crane and you're doing these crazy shots. And I just love the stuff you can do like that with it. It's such another level.
Yeah, we have the Welcome to the Outdoors is sitting over here just typing, I don't need it, I don't need it, I don't need it.
You need it, man. Get out the credit card.
Oh, there, Shaun told you got to get it. So when are you coming to the Ozarks? Robert Wicker says come.
Yeah. When's a good season?
Honestly, all the
winners. Is it always nice?
Like I said, low. I mean, we just did a trip in January. Lows were in the 20s, highs in the upper 30s, lower 40s is about our normal. So
what's that in Canadian temperatures?
I don't know. I don't know how to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius.
What did you say?
Google. I'm gonna Google it. 20 Fahrenheit to Celsius is 6 degrees. Okay.
I was asking Siri over here.
So
probably pretty mild for you, but I mean, I would say avoid the Ozarks in the summertime because it's upper 90s in humidity. It's a miserable experience in the summertime. It's not fun. So
I'm gonna
spring, fall. Now you would love it here in the spring because I've seen you do some pretty crazy water crossings in your videos. Yeah. And that's one thing that Ozarks, that's our biggest obstacle is water crossings. You can't go down just about any trail without encountering a water crossing.
In the Bronco even.
So you would love springtime in the Ozarks, I think. It's gorgeous.
Okay, well, it's only a 34-hour drive from here.
So. Oh, that's what we do.
But let me tell you, so we have a friend, and I'm pretty sure he would set you up. Robert Wicker. He just bought a new Jeep. He has a Toyota 4Runner. He has an old Tacoma that he's putting on 35s. And so
you fly down and
you fly down. Yeah. We have a vehicle for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll think about it.
I'm going to offer Robert's vehicles.
I don't know. I'm pretty dialed in with my own setup. I feel like I'd be
I understand.
I'd be naked if I didn't have my own vehicle.
But that'd be a whole new story till then.
Yeah, I think you'd I think you'd feel at home in the Ozarks because I've seen a lot of your stuff up there. Yeah, you've got a lot of tight trails, and you've got a lot of water, and I think the Ozarks would feel very, very at home.
Washington, and then we go through Montana,
That'd be
South Dakota, Iowa. It's a lot.
What did you do? Whoa. You go from South Dakota through where?
Sorry, Omaha? I don't know.
No, you said
Iowa? You said Iowa.
You said Iowa.
What? How do you say it?
Just Iowa.
Iowa.
That's very what short. I said. Hey, I'm not Iowanian, okay? I don't know. But yeah. I don't know. I'll look into it. If there's stuff that I can hit on the way and on the way back, then maybe I could make a trip out of it.
Yeah. I mean, I would think depending on your route. I mean, Colorado would very much be on your way.
Yeah. Well, meet me in Colorado.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Yeah.
I'm a full-time YouTuber. I can take off whenever I want to.
I hear this every day. Well, I'm chained to my desk.
No, just keep at it. Things might change.
I gotta pay for his trips. He's a YouTuber. It's expensive.
We just have to get this. We just have to get those kids graduated. That's the goal. So,
yeah.
Just get them working and take a cut of their paychecks.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all old enough, so there's that.
What you do?
That should be what we do. But look, Shaun, we have had a great night. I don't want to keep you too late. I don't know what time you're running there, but
you're what, 2 hours behind us? Okay, you're 2 hours behind us.
8 o'clock.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's
not bad.
But we appreciate you so much for coming on and just taking the time out of your night. Again,
this was fun.
Take it lightly. It was super fun getting to know you and just learning about
guys.
All of the stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's fun to chat.
Yeah. We really appreciate you coming on. It was been a blast.
Are you guys going to any events or anything coming up?
I don't have confirmation yet. I've got. I think I asked you. We've got the event coming up called the More Expo. It's in Springfield, Missouri. It's the largest indoor overlanding off-roading expo in the country. It's
cool.
Fantastic. So we've got that event in April.
It's actually indoors and outdoors.
Yeah,
they've gotten so big.
I might get to go to Expo West this year.
I should be there.
In partnership with Gaia GPS, they may send me out there because I do a lot of teaching and stuff. And
cool. I love Gaia.
On Gaia. And so I might get to go out there with Gaia, but that hasn't been nailed down yet. But other than that,
yeah, well, let me know if you go. I'm planning to go. So
okay. Yeah, if I get to go, I actually made myself a reminder in the morning to email them to try to nail some of that down. So
awesome.
Cool. Yeah. I'm going to try and get to as many events as I can this year because I haven't got to go to any yet.
Yeah.
Because of the border being closed.
You've been trapped up north.
Get to meet everybody.
Well, hopefully I get to meet you. Yeah. I look forward to that very much. If not, I will see Moab. You in 2023 in Moab.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold you to that, buddy.
I'm going to hold you to it.
Well, thank you so much. And just in case anybody wants to follow more along on your journey, you have a new video coming out on the Storytelling on YouTube. What night?
Monday mornings, 9 a.m.
Monday mornings,
every Monday morning. Yeah.
Mondays are the release date.
Yeah.
You can also
you don't want to miss this Mondays. It's going to be a doozy.
A doozy.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you so much, you guys. Y'all have a good night, and I can't wait to see more of y'all next week.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Later, Shaun.